Hey guys, I'm Becca, back with another video, and this time it's about sorority recruitment, and I am here with my friend Z. Yeah, we love that. And today we're just gonna be talking about sorority recruitment and the do's and don'ts, and just things to help you out if you're going through the recruitment process. Yeah, so let's get
started.
Let's go. Oh my god. Sips tea. No! My laptop! It's alive! It's alive.
Not today, Satan.
I can't put that in there. You know how many people could be like, people would come at you.
What?
Two people literally already came at me. I'm like, hello, I have like, what, 59 subscribers? Maybe?
Who came at you?
I don't know, but this was when I had like 20. And I was like, are you kidding? There's like people that actually matter on this platform. And you're coming at me? So, yeah, she actually looks cute. I'm in pajamas because today work week, the theme was pajama day. Okay, should I change? Should I put on a t-shirt? Okay.
Hey friends, welcome to my channel. There's something in my mouth. Peppermint pizza.
I just have my laptop here because it has all the things that we're going to talk about. Let's spill some tea. So first we're going to talk about the difference between formal and informal recruitment. I can't win.
Formal recruitment, everybody on campus is...
Oh my god, I forgot. Actually, we'll get to this later. Okay, never mind. Sorry, go ahead. Keep going.
The difference between formal and informal recruitment is for formal recruitment, everybody gets together and they're all given a specific chance to recruit to quota. Quota is basically the max number of people you can accept in your chapter. Everybody has an opportunity to get to know and recruit girls the same amount of time, so it's fair and all that. And then informal is basically if you don't make quota, or if you didn't get a chance to get to know enough girls, or you didn't hand out enough bids,
Or if people drop after you've recruited and your numbers are lower than they were the semester before.
or people don't accept the bids that you give them on the final day of recruitment, then you have a chance to get more girls informally, and they just kind of meet you through tabling events or smaller type things of how you can get to know them and give them a bid.
Right, you have to go through all of the rounds for formal recruitment versus informal, where there's just like tabling events and it's like really a lot more relaxed and less structured.
Yeah.
It's really structure, I guess, you know. It's just a lot more chill.
It's a lot more work for formal recruitment too.
Yeah.
But
the next thing that we have to say is don't be closed-minded to any Greek organization, because if you're going through recruitment and you are like, okay, I want to join
Sigma Apple Pie.
Yeah, that's not real, obviously. Okay, I want to only join Sigma Apple Pie. Then if you're going through it and you don't get asked back to that house, number one, that might crush you and you're gonna just not be happy. And then if you do get a bid from another sorority, you might not accept it because you weren't open-minded to them. But also, if you're going through recruitment and you're not open-minded to any other organization, you're missing out on so many different connections that you can make, and you could end up liking another sorority and feeling just more connected to those girls and their philanthropies and what they stand for so much more than the one that you were so set on when you were first going through recruitment.
We also, as being a part of a sorority, we notice if you're constantly talking about the fact that you might have not gotten in a certain sorority, so you might have a harder chance of making those connections, and if that's the case, it might be harder for you. What am I trying to say?
Oh, I know what you're saying. Okay, so like, say you've already gone through a couple rounds and you come into this new house and you're talking to some sisters of a certain house, and you're only talking about the other houses that you've been to, it kind of comes off like you don't like them. And that might not even necessarily be the case. You could just have had like a really good round somewhere else, but it comes off like you don't want to be there. And if the girls can tell that you don't want to be there, you're not gonna, they're not
Like,
gonna
why
feel
are they
connected
gonna want
to
you to come back?
Right. And obviously it's a mutual kind of thing going through recruitment. It's both like, do I want to come back to this house and do they want me to come back to this house? It's definitely like mutual kind of stuff, but just be open and just be mindful of what you're saying.
To go off of that, if nothing says you have to join a specific sorority nothing says you have to join a sorority that you didn't want, but
Right.
if you choose to accept a bid from somebody else that wasn't maybe your number one, give that a chance and don't just be like, oh, well, I didn't want to be here, but I took it because
Right.
I wanted to be in a sorority.
Right.
Like, give it a chance to get to know other people. And if you decide you don't want to be in it anymore, that's totally okay. Nothing says you have to be in one.
Right. And also to go off that, you don't have to join a sorority at all. Like, just because you're going through the recruitment process doesn't mean you have to join one. It's just, I mean, it's a recruitment process for a reason, to see if you can form those connections. And you might get a bid from a house that you don't want, but I think a lot of people end up where they're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, if you get a bid from a house that you didn't necessarily want, those people want you. So you clearly left a mark on them. So I think it's definitely something that you should consider. But if you don't want to join a house at all, you definitely don't have to. And you could always, if your school does it, you could always go through the informal process later in the year if they do that in the spring and they do recruitment. If they do formal recruitment in the fall and then they do informal recruitment in the spring.
My freshman year, went through formal recruitment, and I went through the 5 days, and I ended up getting left with a sorority that I didn't necessarily have good connections with people. And there was nothing wrong with them. I just didn't make those connections with the girls I talked to. So I decided to not continue through the formal recruitment process. I ended up also doing informal for our sorority and then became a founder. So it all worked out in the end, and I found my place.
And what's a founder?
So a founder is, our chapter is a national organization, and they were brought onto our campus, and they started a chapter here
Like 4 years ago.
Yeah,
4
4 years
years
ago,
ago.
my freshman year. And the first incoming group of girls was the founding group, because we were the first to join the colony that was eventually installed into becoming a chapter. It's only been 4 years. Wow.
You're old.
Oh my god.
See you, Granny. Now we're just going to be talking about the things that should and should not be done when you're going through recruitment.
Do be yourself and be as genuine as you can.
Yeah.
People who are recruiting you definitely enjoy when you're more open to what they're doing and you're getting to know them on a personal level. You're not just like, oh, you watch Netflix? I watch Netflix. Like, that's great.
Which, like,
Yeah.
is totally fine if that's the case, but, like, be genuine and be yourself, because you're gonna make real connections if you're yourself versus if you're trying to just impress people with the things that you have to say. You might make connections in their eyes, but to you, it's not gonna feel right. So you definitely wanna just be yourself and be open, because you're gonna probably make connections with people naturally by just being yourself.
It's a lot easier for them to get to know you on a deeper level if you're actually being yourself and not trying to pretend to be somebody else.
Right.
Like something you're not, kind of thing.
Plus, it's just not fun to like be who you're not.
We ain't about fake people.
Oh my god. Okay.
You know that actually helps you read better?
It does not.
Dead serious. It helps you focus.
Okay. We love some good B-roll. Actually, I don't think that's B-roll. B-roll.
What's another do?
Oh.
Do ask questions. It's very important that you ask questions because as sorority women, we are told to ask you questions, but it's very helpful to us if you ask
Questions.
You ask questions.
Yeah, because we want to, well, number one, we want to know the kinds of things that you want to know. And because I feel like that's just like a good way to like be like, oh, who is this person? What do they want to know about us? Because you do want to make those connections and really get to know those personal things. But also, we want to hear you talk more than we want to hear ourselves talk, because we're really, I mean, there's only so much time that you have to talk to someone when you're going through the recruitment process, and it can be really, really stressful. So we want to get as much information from you as we possibly can, because we remember these things, and the more things that you tell us, the more things there is to connect on.
Don't be disappointed if you don't make it out of certain rounds. Like, just because you go through recruitment doesn't mean you're gonna make it all the way to the end.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Because you basically organize your sororities based on what you would want to be in.
Yeah, so you'll go through all these rounds and then you'll rank them in the order that you like them least to best for your own personal preference.
And then if there's a mutual connection from that sorority, they'll ask you back. But say
assuming that they have enough spots. Once they run out of spots, they can't necessarily ask everyone back because they're given a limit.
Exactly. And then say Sigma Apple Pie wants you, but you don't want them, and you put them 7th on your list, they might ask you back, but the one you wanted, say like, I don't know,
Dill Pepper Delta. Say Dill Pepper Delta
wanted
her.
Say Dill Pepper didn't want you, but you put them first on your list. It wasn't a mutual connection. Don't talk about parties, boys.
Whoa.
boobs.
You can't say boobs.
I just said boobs.
Well, she's gone. Anyway, so next thing we want to talk about is the things that you probably just shouldn't bring up for your sanity and the sanity of the girls that are trying to recruit you. And I'm not saying that you can't, because obviously you can talk about whatever you want. You are the PNM here, okay? We're gonna, I mean, the girls that are trying to recruit you definitely have things that they're not going to talk about because they don't want to make you uncomfortable. But in return, please try your best. And I understand their slip-ups, but please try your best not to talk about boys, parties, booze. And let me tell you why. It can be uncomfortable when you talk about those kinds of things because, for example, let's just say parties and booze. Sorority life is not associated with partying and drinking. So that is a huge misconception that a lot of people have about sorority life. Now, what people choose to do on their own is absolutely, yeah, that is absolutely their decision. I am not gonna sit here and tell you that nobody in the world makes their own decisions and does stuff that's completely unassociated from their Greek organization. In terms of sorority life, sororities do not throw parties. So you're not gonna see a house party from a sorority, and you're not gonna see, I don't know, you're just not gonna see that. And you shouldn't ask like, oh, what fraternity are you guys associated with? Because fraternal life and sorority life are a part of two separate organizations, and yeah, they do a lot of things together. They participate in each other's philanthropies, which are the organizations that they raise money for and work with, you know,
For
service-wise.
charities.
Yeah, for charities. But sororities and fraternities are separate. They're part of different organizations. But the Panhellenic community, which is in charge of sororities, is just for sororities.
Also, I think talking about the parties, the booze, and the boys, just all around makes not only the person you're talking to uncomfortable, but by them being uncomfortable, it's gonna make you uncomfortable because then they don't know how to respond, and then the connection is just completely thrown off.
Yeah.
Plus, it might give them a misconception of what you're looking for.
It might be misleading.
Oh, yeah, don't bash on other houses and sororities. Be polite.
Oh, refilming, yay!
Oh my gosh, my eye just started watering.
Okay, so we just want to tell you some of the things that you should know, okay? Let's pull up our little list here. Don't worry about being overdressed. I remember going through recruitment and I thought that what I was wearing wasn't as cute or dressy as what everybody else was wearing, even though it was stuff that I personally really liked at the time. I realized nobody actually cared what I was wearing.
Yeah, nobody will judge you based on your appearance, and if they do, you don't
want to be a part of that.
Yeah, going through recruitment, I don't think I ever really looked at a girl's outfit. No, if it was like a super cute outfit, I was like,
I'd be like,
oh my
hey
gosh,
girl,
I love
your
your
outfit's super cute.
like
Yeah.
that's different.
They want to know about your character and
What's on the
inside. What's in that heart? Because it's good. It's good. It's good.
Along with that, wear comfortable shoes. Nobody wants to see you dying because you didn't wear comfortable shoes and you're aching.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
And you don't want to get blisters because odds are you're going to have a round the next day where you got to stand all day too.
I have a blister on my toe.
Okay, moving on. Wear deodorant. You're going to be there for a long time.
And nobody
Be
wants to be
hygienic.
stinky.
Yeah, because that's a lot of people. That's a lot of female hormones.
Especially if you can't shower that day. Maybe you don't have time.
Yeah, I mean, we're not judging, but like,
Not everybody showers every day.
drink water, be hydrated, be yourself, be honest, be respectful.
Life is stressful. Take care of yourself.
Yes, that is more important than anything, okay?
You will hear some singing and chanting.
Probably some crying, like happy crying, but crying.
Happy crying.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. I cried.
Oh my gosh, I cried last year when all of the seniors were leaving. I was like,
Yeah. I think even some PNMs cried out of happiness. They were like, oh my God, that was so emotional. Like,
let me tell you,
made
we're
me
great
so
singers.
happy.
I think we do a really good prep ceremony.
Oh, you mean like as a sorority? Oh yeah, we great. What?
The singing and chanting will probably seem unnatural and uncomfy at times.
Yeah, because
But-
it is. And believe us, we know it looks cultish. We agree, but it's like, I swear, I don't know what it is. Before I actually joined a sorority, I was like, that's too much. I still think that's too much, but it's fun now because it's just traditional. It's kind of like singing with your friends at camp, you know,
Yeah.
around a campfire.
I hope you find your home, and if you do, take the time to get to know people, take the time to make connections, and just enjoy your organization. Do whatever you can to be involved.
Let me know if you want to see more videos like this or any other sorority related videos in the comments, and then make sure to like this video if you liked it, and then
Thumbs up.
subscribe and hit that bell notification to be notified every time I post a new video every Monday and Friday. And have a fantastic happy day, guys. Bye-bye.